On January 1st, which was New Year's Day, I had to go to work the next day, and for some reason I went to bed early. And I didn't check my Facebook that night.
My phone went off, notification from Facebook, clicked on it. He wrote me something saying pretty much that he'll always look after me. And it was very strange. So I went to go, on his page, and all this stuff was going around.
He was making tons of posts on Facebook, just calling people out and telling people that he loved them.
I found a message to me from him. And then just anybody, and I started leaving messages. Please, somebody tell me what's going on.
And then I was freaking out. I was like, what is going on? And phone just kept on blowing up. And I was like, you know what, I can't sit here.
There was about 20 of us within half an hour out searching for him all over Chicago.
Super cold, icy, it was snowing. We're just asking people, hey, do you see this really tall, skinny guy with a goatee, probably dancing around somewhere?
For the rest of the night, I sat up frantically, combing through every piece of social media you could find, hoping that he'd pop up and go, oh, guys, I changed my mind.
And one of the most heartbreaking things is looking at all those messages up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning that night. People asking and people hoping, and then when people realized that he had gone through with it.
My name is Mary Mandrella, and I was Tom's mom. Or I should say I am Tom's mom, because even after people leave, they're still with us. Tom was the first of my 4 children. I had him at 18, and Tom and I grew up together. He was my buddy, he was my adventure boy. He always joked and said that he was the biggest self-proclaimed mama's boy he ever knew. He was always the boy that was going to take care of me when I got old.
Tom was somebody who is just larger than life.
He was probably the weirdest person that I'd ever known. So when I went out with him, it was very awkward because he would just go up to any random person and either tell them that you're beautiful, how's your day going, or if you're reading something, oh, what book are you reading?
He was all over the place. He made friends with everybody. He was friends with the friendless. He'd go up to people and say, hey, I'm gonna write you a poem. Give me like 5 words, and just write the most amazing poem.
He was like a hurricane in a 6'4", tall, skinny body. You couldn't contain him, and when he got on a whirlwind, it was pretty monumental.
I think Tom chose to end his life in such a public way by announcing it on Facebook because he lived his life in a very public way. He posted his last words, and I wish he had stayed around for a couple more minutes just to see the thousands of messages that were trying to get him to not do it.
I took a week off of work, and I remember sitting and just constantly on Facebook, and it was more for a connection to the people who were going through what I was going through. Because my son was so much larger than life, and had so many friends. They all had these wonderful, sweet, kind, endearing things about how great of a person he was, how much they missed him.
The importance of community to the people who are left after their loved one has died is huge. Often what can happen is that bereavement, grief, is done in isolation.
I'm up till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on YouTube watching his videos and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how I grieve, is just being, that's a good thing, just being able to be on there, actually seeing him, because other people, you know, they might not have family members or friends that, you know, they could watch on video all the time. All they have is just memories of things. I get to see him whenever I want, get to hear his voice.
This is every month being here is just amazing. After this month, I'm not going to share for a while. I'm just going to be in the crowd and cheering people on. It's just...
Families have been given an incredible gift. They haven't necessarily known who their son or daughter's friends were, what their interests were, what their activities were. To start reading, especially on Facebook, some of the posts, seeing the images, seeing the pictures, has been, for the families that I've spoken to, very, very gratifying.
I found so much more depth to my son from what other people have posted, from the pictures, from the video footage. Oh my gosh. And I've discovered that my son has crazy dance skills. Crazier than I ever knew. And just his passion. It comes through in everything that so many of his friends have posted, that I would not have seen because I wasn't present at those moments in his life, but his friends were.
Facebook is allowing all of those friends of that person to grieve and to remember and to kind of be together.
If Tom's Facebook page ever got deleted, I would be absolutely devastated. I would feel like I lost him all over again.
What it is another form of community. People are still expressing, and sometimes they're expressing really deeply and really profoundly.
When something comes up, let's say Jenna this morning posted, or yesterday posted, a dance video that she's been holding on to. It's her prized possession. I can't wait to go home and show it to Doug.
It's like one of the most moving dance clips I've ever seen, and I was hoarding it for a really long time. Like, it was in my possession. I'm like, I'm not going to show anyone this dance clip because it's mine and it's something that I can have. But it's like, that's selfish, because he wanted to show everyone his craft.
Having that digital presence is huge for me. Number one, because I'm seeing him through the eyes of someone else, not just of myself. I'm not looking at the picture of the 5-year-old boy cutting his birthday cake. I'm looking at something of a grown man and how he affected other people. But what I really, really take comfort in is how his friends have taken my son's presence and taken it to other places. Recently, a young lady went to Thailand, bought a bell in Thailand and hung it in a temple in his honor. If there wasn't social media, I wouldn't have known that. So it's kind of cool. It's emotional. But it's so heartwarming that my son touched so many people that they continue to do that. I am plain white mom. And now I'm all their moms. I lost one and gained hundreds. They are beautiful distractions. I tell them all the time. Mourning is painful no matter how you experience it. You can't get around the pain of it. It's just how your heart has to heal. But to know that I had such a base of support for people who truly, truly cared for my son in ways that I've never seen anybody care for another person. It was so comforting, it was so great. I don't think if I would have had it, I could have come through the other side as well as I have.